What's a split? If you ever tried getting into the gym or just try to be a little bit healthier and you have no idea what the hell you're doing, this video is for you. I'm gonna help you out with that. If you have no idea what to do on a day-to-day basis when you're in the gym and you have no idea how to structure your week, you definitely should get on a split. I'm gonna tell you what that is exactly. Topics that we're gonna be covering are the definition, obviously different types of splits, and some benefits, pros, and some cons that come with using a workout split. But let's be honest, there's not too many cons. Now, what a split is a way of breaking up exercises over the week in order to allow yourself ample time to recover in between sessions. So let's break it down a little bit simpler with two split examples. I'm going to be talking about push-pull legs and upper-lower splits in this video specifically because those are just the two splits that are the most popular that you might have seen on the internet. So we'll start with push-pull legs. I have it written down right here. I don't know if you can see, you're a little bit far from me, but we've got push, pull, legs. A push day will consist of chest muscles, the shoulder muscles, and the tricep muscles as well. A pull day will consist of back muscles and biceps. That's going to include the upper back, the traps, the rear delts, the rhomboids, and the lats as well for like kind of a lower back. Technically, your extensors are the lower back, not your lats, but who's really counting? You probably don't even know what I'm talking about. Bear with me. And some biceps as well. You know biceps, these. Legs, and glutes as well. Legs is gonna suck no matter what split you do, so, you know, push through it, I guess. Now, you will do push, pull, legs, rest, push, pull, legs, rest. That's going to allow you to hit every single muscle group at least twice a week. Some people may argue that you want to be hitting your muscle groups maybe 3 times a week, but to be honest, if you're just getting into the gym, push, pull, legs, and even for many experienced lifters, push-pull legs is, you know, gonna be your liquid gold, your bread and butter, the gold standard of how often you should be hitting muscle groups throughout the week. If you're one of those like nerds that are like, upper lower is actually the most optimal split, technically they're right. I can't even argue against that, but it's just not as fun. You don't get a sick pump. However, it is very, very efficient in terms of growing. It's very efficient in terms of frequency and hitting each muscle group 3 times a week if you're really consistent with it. We have upper, so that's gonna be upper body, and lower body, right? Shocking, I know. Upper, you're only gonna really be doing 1 exercise per muscle group as opposed to a push-pull legs split where you'll be doing 2 exercises per muscle group. So for upper, you'll do 1 chest, 1 shoulder, 1 bicep, 1 tricep, 1 traps, rhomboid, and a deltoid exercise, like an upright row, and 1 lat exercise, like a pull down, a pull over, a low row machine, etc. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what kind of split you use as long as you stick with it, you're consistent, and you're progressing almost every single session. You should want to try and increase the weight, maybe 5 pounds for each of your lifts, or increase your reps by 1. You want to make it as challenging as possible, and once you're kind of hitting like, I would say even 10 reps on any given exercise, up the weight and make it more challenging for yourself. I don't really recommend doing more than 10 reps per exercise because we want to be struggling by the 4th one. Honestly, that's going to give us the most efficient way of growth as possible. Now, a couple benefits to a split is steady progression. You get an organized schedule, good frequency of training, as I previously mentioned, efficient recovery because you are allowing yourself time in between your sessions to let the muscle recuperate. It's always important to get your protein in, eating your carbs and your fats, fueling yourself before your exercises. However, you also need to sleep and give your body a little bit of a rest. You can't hit it every single day. Don't be one of the people like, whenever it's not sore is when I work out. All right, what are you, 12? Anyway, gains, obviously, we all want to look good, whether that be fat loss, whether that be growing muscle, whether that be getting a big, juicy chest or a fat, juicy booty. Everybody wants gains. Splits are very, very easy, organized, super simple to track your progress in, so you're basically guaranteed as long as you follow the numbers. This is all really just a numbers game. All you gotta do is stay consistent with it. Now, I have a couple commonly asked questions that people usually ask me, and by people, I mean my friend that I texted before I made this video. Thank you, Jimmy. Are there any specific order I should split my exercises? It depends. If you're keeping it simple, push, pull, legs, organize it like that. You could also do upper, lower, organize it like that. But if you want to prioritize any specific part of your body, splits are very, very flexible. You can kind of make up your own as you go. And it really doesn't matter how it looks like as long as you're hitting your desired muscle groups consistently. Now, another question I've gotten before by many people is, should I still use a split if I want to focus on a specific body part? Yes, I would highly recommend you still use a split, especially if you want to focus on a specific body part. Let's say for guys, they just want to grow their chest, they want to grow some shoulders. You can definitely add an extra shoulder exercise during the week in order to maximize growth as efficiently as possible. Let's say you're a girl and you want to grow your butt a little bit more. That's totally fine. You can have a split that involves 2 leg days. That's always going to maximize growth and efficiency if you are hitting the muscle group frequently throughout the week. Another question we get is, why is a split better than doing a little bit of stuff, everything each day? Well, as I previously mentioned, organization and a set schedule for your lifts. You're not kind of going in there and guessing what you're doing. You already know your workout plan before you get into the gym, so you can kind of get in there, tear it up, and get the hell out of there. Now, how many days a week should I train? For a beginner, if you're kind of dipping your feet in the water a little bit, I recommend at least 3 times a week in order to see any significant gains in, maybe 2 months, 3 months. 1 month if you're really on point with your progress and your diet and your nutrition as well as your lifts. 1 month you're going to see a lot of physical changes, but 2 to 3 months is what I would generally recommend training for at least 3 days a week. Once you kind of get into the habit of the gym, I would recommend trying to bump it up a day or 2, 4 or 5 days. I personally work out 5 to 6 days a week, but I make sure I take my rest times. I sleep 7 to 9 hours a day, and get your protein in. That's going to be the biggest thing. You got to get your protein in and you got to rest. Force yourself to take rest days, because I need to force myself to take rest days. Now, I asked that question already. And now, one of the most common questions and concerns I've seen, not only among my friends and clients, but also just on the internet in general. What's the best workout split? Now, I'm not going to bore you with all of the science, the studies, and the data that support what split is the best, because in reality, it does not matter, bro. As long as you are getting into the gym, you're working at your body, and you're progressing every single time you get in there, you're going to be fine. Make sure you're eating plenty, you're sleeping a lot, and you're lifting heavy, and you're going to be good. Stay classy.